This is KCBD News Channel 11 at 10.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
After 2 procedures, a month of homebound school, and a long time away from friends, Zaidyn Ward is going back to school. You may remember Zaidyn is the Lubbock Monterey football player who collapsed on the field last August.
KCBD News Channel 11's Patricia Perry caught up with the freshman and tells us how he's doing and what lies ahead.
15-year-old Zaidyn Ward is feeling good ahead of the school bell ringing on Monday.
I'm ready to see my friends.
For a month, a teacher came into their home and taught him for 2 hours a day, 3 days a week. The homebound schooling was recommended by Monterey administrators because of how tired Zaidyn was.
They were noticing that he was a little giving out a little bit more frequently and just wasn't able to maintain a full day.
Zaidyn's mom and grandma were hopeful when doctors inserted the SCID defibrillator that he would start acting more like the active teenager he was.
He has a little bit more energy than he did before the surgery. And he's, so far, it hasn't been a month yet, but it'll be a month on the 14th, but he's so far so good.
The defibrillator was meant to go in between muscles in his chest, but since Zaidyn's lost weight, it had to be put on his side, making his mom nervous for those busy passing periods between classes.
Being in a school full of a lot of people, you don't want nobody to bump into where he had that procedure at and stuff, and take his time.
Also, getting sick could take a toll on him, so he will be wearing a mask at school. Aside from the nerves, his mother, Cassandra Combs, knows going back is for the best.
He does better learning in the classrooms, but he get a little bit of his normal life back.
The family met with administrators at Monterey on Friday. They decided Zaidyn can go to school until he's tired, then he goes home to rest up for the next day. The cooperation from Monterey has made his grandmother, Judy Combs, want to chant "Beat 'em red, beat 'em blue" a little louder.
The staff and Mr. Perky Powell and everyone in Monterey has really been great. I mean, in working with Zaidyn and making him as comfortable as possible and not just putting him on the spot, knowing that he has health issues, they've really been wonderful. I mean, really wonderful.
Zaidyn wants to thank everyone for their support and kind words throughout this journey. Patricia Perry, KCBD News Channel 11.